Well, Chit Chat Kit Kats. Well, today arrived the bead necklace. Now, I bought this on eBay. Now, it was listed as mutton fat antique, and it's got 10 karat beads. These are all supposed to be 10 karat gold. Now, as you can see, these are all lavender pieces. This is a light lavender. It is most definitely not mutton fat. It's a longer version of my lavender beads. So, I might wind up keeping it, but I did contact the seller and say there's no way on God's green earth this is mutton fat. This is, as you can see, this is lavender, okay? It goes with my other lavender necklace. Now, it's okay. It's kind of nice to have this set where it's a longer piece. Definitely goes with all my lavender. Here's lavender, and here's lavender. So it goes with all my lavender ring. So it does make a nice set. So I think I will keep it. The price was not bad. It was $100 for a long jadeite lavender necklace. That's decent. Okay, that's a decent price. But I did let the seller know it's most definitely not mutton fat. Mutton fat is a nephrite, and it's got like a, here, I'll show you my, where did I put it? Trying to figure out where I did put my one that's more like nephrite. Hold on, let me grab it. Move this. Look at what I found the other day. Isn't that cute? For my jade pieces. But it's in here. It's in this other piece. Yeah, here it is. This is more like mutton fat. Okay. This is jadeite. You can see the difference in it. This would be like a jadeite, a mutton fat piece. It's got that oily type of a look and texture versus jadeite. Now the other piece that I have that I'm trying to wonder about is this piece, which could also be perhaps mutton fat, but I'm not sure on this piece. I do like it though. It's when I wear it with this, they go very nicely together. Very older pieces. So I do like those. But most definitely this is not mutton fat. I couldn't believe I found this yesterday at the secondhand store. And it's just so cute. Look at that. And the top has got a scene on it as well. And it's just perfect for my jade earrings and my pendants and earrings and stuff. So anyway, that's what happened today in the world of jade. Another thing I've got that I don't know how they did this all the time. Wearing these. Now these are the antique ones. The Chinese nail guards that would be worn by women in the in that what they called the harem. So they would wear, they only wear that. Now I see them advertised on Amazon and stuff, and I did buy a set, but they've got them on all the fingers. Well, you don't wear them on all the fingers. They only wore them on the last 2 fingers, and it's only worn by the women there of standing that were not out there doing manual work and things, and they only did the last two fingers, because you have to keep these so you can pick up things, so you can do stuff, you know. Although I don't know how they did it, that they would do embroidery and stuff. Now I can't imagine doing embroidery and stuff wearing these things. They are not comfortable, okay? After a while, it really kind of gets annoying. I did try it, you know, to see what is life like, that, you know, for the ones of what are they, Han? And I did look, they did have actually a pair of the shoes that they would wear, that they have that kind of platform in the center of the shoe. And the reason they had that was because these women did not bind their feet, but when they would wear those, and I actually did find an antique pair that would fit me. So when you wear them, the thing of attraction with them is that you walk like you would if you had the little lotus feet, okay? They would have somebody with them when they would walk to help support them as they would walk, okay, in these shoes with the platform in the center of it, okay? So, no, those I have not tried. I've thought about it, though, because to see what was it like actually having to wear those things, you know, wearing these, and, you know, it's all about, you know, these would give you that kind of a, I think they look like claws, but, you know, they would take their drink and they would, you know, hide their mouth when they're drinking, and I guess it's to look more feminine, although I think they look pretty deadly. But the genuine ones have the you can see the back, how they fit. There they go. Just interesting. So I did order a set of the fake ones to see what it's like to run around and have these on 4 of your fingers. How can you manage? It's a good thing that they were wealthy and they actually had servants, did most everything for them. They weren't out there, you know, doing all the manual stuff. They had servants that would aid them for the women of the, in the inner courts of the emperor's palace. But, yeah, there. I'm just like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know how long it would take them to get used to wearing these things. I don't get it. But anyway, you know, I'm still trying to figure out why would they have, and they would grow their fingernails, these two, out to a long length, okay? But why in the world did they start this? You know, I'm very interested in cultures. I've always been interested in cultures, especially Chinese and Japanese cultures. Now I have worn, I used to wear every day kimonos and the katsuda, the wig and everything, when I was much thinner. But I can put on kimonos and I would wear them every night. And part of my job, I worked in, you know, Japanese restaurant, and I did work entertaining and things, and so did wear kimonos. And you wear those, and the shoes, they make you kind of walk like this. You kind of walk a little pigeon-toed in it, and that's very feminine if you're kind of walking pigeon-toed in these shoes. Hai do so kochidae nani o nomini narimasu ka? So you would do this very feminine voice. Now, I can't do it with what's going on with my throat now, but you do this very high-pitched, light voice. Hi do so. Hi do so. Hi please. Kochidae, come this way. Nani no minu narimasu ka? What would you like to drink? What would you like? So it was all that part of that thing. Even Lily's looking at me like, what the heck is going on? What about these, Lily? What do you think of these things? She says, I don't know about those. I got to check it out. I don't know about that, Mom. What do you think, Lily? She says, I like these better without this thing. I don't blame you, Lily. Anyway, my little Lily boo-boo. Mr. Mickey is over there laying in the bed taking a puppy nap, but Miss Lily is over here. She's so cute. Are you cute? You are. You're cute. You are cute in your little puppy face. Kisses. Gives kisses. Anyway, so that's what's going on. So as you can see, these are lavender. They are definitely not mutton fat, but they do go with my other, this jade ensemble, shall we say. These pieces of jade go quite well together. And so maybe I'll wear it with my other dress that's like this, but it's a kind of a magenta color. Might look quite nice with the lavender. So maybe I'll try that soon. What do you think, Lily? She says, I don't know. I'm just going to lay here and keep those deadly looking things away from me. So on that note, I'm going to leave this here. And yeah. Again, I'm going to do some more research and see if I can find out what in the world, why they started this. If it was, just again, a sense of, higher class, that this shows that you don't have to do any work. You're not doing the manual labor, okay? I want to find out also, they wore those hairstyles where they had the big things on their head. They had all sorts of different, but with all the jewels on it, and gold and jades and flowers and the things. And I want to look into that more too. How did that start? And why did they wear those? And how the heck did they attach those to their head? They'll have some that come out look like this, like a duckbill or something. How in the world did they put those things on? I can't imagine having to wear those every day. Now I've been watching this series, which has been really interesting, and it's about all the concubines that were in the royal palace, and they're all jockeying for position and to have the first male heir that would wind up being emperor. And I mean, these women are so catty, and that they would kill the other one's kids and everything. I mean, just really bad, because they wanted to wind up being empress. They wanted to have the highest status there. So you look at these, and I mean, some of them are just so snarky. They have one on there, every time she talks, it's like a snake. You're just like, she had a really pretty face, but the most conniving. She wound up killing so many of the others' children and stuff, and setting people up. And I just mean the most devious. And every time she would talk, it would be, this type of thing, and like, it just sounded like a snake every time she talked. Oh, Lord. But it's interesting how they lived, because they lived in there. They saw no other males except for all eunuchs. Only eunuchs could go in there where the concubines were. And so you had all these eunuchs and then all these catty women just jockeying for position and stuff going on. So very, very interesting to read that. Now, I did have a book that I read, and it was about this woman. She was a Han, and she was a servant, and it told about her life. Now, the one I'm reading now is about this woman, Leaf in the Bitter Wind, and it's talking about growing up in the communist regime and what happened with her family. Her father had owned this. Her father had owned a factory, and the communists made him give up the factory to give it to them, and they would pay him very minimal of what it was worth, and then they didn't even pay him. Okay? And they forced him to do the most menial job in that factory. After they took it from him, then they made him do the most menial job, and they weren't paying him on top of it. So very interesting story about her life growing up and what the regime was doing to the people there. Now, I know somebody else that came from Cuba. They came on an inner tube from Cuba. There were a number of people that left at that time, and some of them, they didn't have any food or water with them. So some of them got eaten by sharks, okay? And it just went crazy out there from the sun and not having water, not having food. So a number of them were lost, but he was telling me about his family. His mother was shot, and they had prominence, had a great big house. The communists took over everything, took their land, took their house, took everything. And yeah, very hard. I mean, I've known a number of people. Another girl that I knew, Iranian, her husband was a general, and they escaped from Iran. They would have killed them, and now we went to beauty school together, and she was having to do the nails. She was doing facials. Yeah, she went into doing facials. She said, now I'm working on people I would have never even spoke to before. So she came from very prominence and really had this difficult time. Very lovely person. But she said they were lucky to get out with their lives. She still wore the most expensive makeup. I remember that. She was still, didn't want to give up that. She'd wear the most expensive makeup and everything. But, yeah, I knew a couple of girls that were from Iran and had been very prominent people while they were there. I don't know why I've met quite a few people like that, like my ex-husband, their family. In the history, they left China when the communists took over because one of their ancestors was one of the kings before they started having the emperors and stuff way back in antiquity, but they still would have been targeted because they had somebody in the history of prominence there. And so they left. They went to Korea, and just with the clothes on their back, they left. They went to Korea and restarted and stuff. So, yeah. So I've always been very interested in history and cultures, especially different cultures, how they're raised, what they're doing, why they do what they do. And it's just, I think for me, personally, very, very interesting to see these different cultures and to go. When I go somewhere, I go to live. Like I was in India for 5 years, I never went to the Taj Mahal. I never went to the places where people go to sightsee. I just lived the life there. And that's what I like to do. When I go someplace, like in Mexico, I lived in Lake Chapala, not too far from Guadalajara, and I lived there for a year. I like to experience the culture, the day-to-day culture in the area, rather than going sightseeing on a tour. I've never been interested in sightseeing tours, never done it. So on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and we'll see you online. Me and this deadly claws over here. Thanks for tuning in and spending time with me. I do so appreciate it, and we'll see you.